Zeztz 46 kind of felt like, what made me ask the question, is the show taking its time or is it spinning its wheels? Which I find to be a funny question because Nox Midnight Shadow has his dumb Beyblade, not that there's anything wrong with Beyblade, he has his dumb Beyblade henshin device, the power form with the red and the blue, whatever. It totally clashes with everything else about his suit, although like his goofy driver with the spinning thing on it, like, kind of presages the fact that there's going to be a Beyblade, but it still bothers me. It bothered me when they did it with Meteor, and I don't like it anymore here. But more importantly, the show, the episode preview, promised us that we would be seeing a showdown between Nox and the lady. And we got a confrontation between Nox and the lady that came about 3/4 into the episode after a bunch of recapping and retreading, going over the same material with Baku and Nim. And not only that, but then once Odaka had his memories back, he changed his outfit and he went back to where Nagumo and Fujimi were, and he makes the same bet with Fujimi that he did in the past, in the real world, with the real Fujimi, who is apparently an illusion, not the real one. We'll talk about that later, I guess. Actually, we won't. I'll talk about that in the in one of my shorts. I can feel it. I can feel it in my shorts. This needs to be discussed. Wow. And just to let you know, it'll be on the blog as well as an inspector's note, official inspector's note thing under the main analysis here. But he goes and he makes this bet with Fujimi that, you know, if nightmares are real, the next drink's on you. And Fujimi says, if I win, if you're right, I'll buy you drinks for the rest of your life, which is exactly the scenario. You know this already, so I'm not going to repeat it like the show did. And then we have Baku go back to the Phantom, to the lady, and say, you can't do this to him, you can't keep her trapped here. And then she starts to fight him and says, you can't, you know, you have no power here, this is an illusion. The only thing I like that was neat or novel or new is the idea that Nox has the unique ability with his power of darkness, his power of shadow, which really his nightmare is darkness, not shadow, with the power of darkness to dispel, destroy, break through illusions, which I find interesting. Somebody gave me a comment. I'm going to have to screenshot it and put it right here. It's a very cool comment that a friend of his made this comment to him saying, shadows are cast by real things. Shadows are not cast by illusions, basically. And I love that concept. I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me, sorry. But I love that concept because it's true. There's even, I think, philosophical and theological discussions about how the shadow proves that the substance is real. It's something mentioned in the Gospels, and it's mentioned in other places, I'm sure. And even, like, just to be cool, or just to be me, the shadow himself, and then there's another one. There's something literary, too. So, the shadow, the pulp hero, he did cast a shadow. He was invisible to people's minds, but he would still cast a very faint shadow. I believe that's true. Anyway, the other thing is, in The Hobbit, we hear that there is a very, very faint shadow that can be seen when Bilbo's wearing the ring. Only when he's out in the, in the light, I think, is where you would see it. But still, there's something there. So, shadows can break through and overcome illusions, which I think is really cool. And I also think it's cool that we have Baku, who's the main hero, who's gotten so much focus in the show, which I appreciate because I like a one-writer show. It makes sense to me. If you have to have a second, that's fine, I guess. But I'd rather second writer type things be done by the friends of the Kamen Rider so that they have more utility and more purpose in the show, so they're not just there to be victims and to be saved and whatever. Anyway, I do think it's a pretty neat idea that the secondary writer would take care of this big bad in this way, while the main writer is doing things like holding everything together, giving everybody the chance with his crazy powers because he's, black case proof now. So he's going to use that ability to give everybody a chance to hold on, and like without him, everything would fall apart. Does that mean he can beat the big bad at the end and save the day 100% by himself? No, he needs to rely on somebody else who he can help in power, but he can't like steal his power from him and go do the thing the other guy has to do. I think it's a very cool idea. I think it's very novel. I think it's very nice. It's a good approach to do things, and it balances things out. Even though it's Baku's show, Baku needs other people, and I think that's great because we all need other people. We need other people to make our dreams come true and to believe in us and for us to believe in them and whatever. It's very sweet. It's very nice. But again, I feel like something's wrong here. I feel like they're padding for time. I feel like they are stretching things out needlessly. Instead of giving us this big Nox Phantom fight, they didn't. And I'm not sure. They could have figured out a different way to do it. They could have truncated the 3/4 of the episode in the first 5 minutes, because we went through all this memory stuff again, and it's just frustrating. Yes, we had new things happen, but it wasn't quite enough for me. What did you think? Did this episode move things forward enough? Do you feel like it's spinning its wheels, or do you think it's doing something unique and giving us the ability to spend time in a way in the show that we don't usually get to spend time? We don't get to slow down like this, and it's a good thing. Let me know. Leave me a comment. Check the pinned comment for a link to my Inspector's Notes where I dive deeper into the show. There will be my main analysis as well as all my Inspector's Notes and some other fun bonus stuff there as well. Until next time, folks, this is MJ with Rider Tears and Henshin Inspection signing out.